Hey folks, it's William with All Solar Texas. If you're looking into going solar but know that you're going to have to finance, make sure you watch this video. I will teach you what to look out for and what to avoid in solar financing. Stay tuned. Alright folks, thanks for joining the channel. But before we dive in, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to tap on that notification bell. That keeps you up to date with all the latest energy news that we produce here on the channel and helps us out a little bit with Facebook as well. Lastly, don't forget to reach out, give us a call, send us an email, check out our website. Whether or not you're an existing solar customer and you already have solar on your roof and you're just wanting to get a couple of your questions answered, reach out to us. Or if you're looking for a proposal because you're considering going solar, that's what we're here for. Our energy experts are honest, they act with integrity, they're the best in the business, and they'll treat you right. All right, now really what I wanted to dive into today is I wanted to show you not only what your solar financing options are, but what to look out for and what to avoid altogether. Solar is a very great product. It's one of the few products that we could utilize to improve our homes and add value to our home. That's not going to cost us an arm and a leg or something that's going to cost us to go right into our wallet and pull out a big fat stack of cash, right? If you were to install a new roof or put in a new AC system or do insulation all over your home, something like that, a bank's not going to finance that, at least not at a reasonable interest rate. And you're probably going to have to pay that back right away. With solar, it's one of the few opportunities that we have as homeowners to not only take advantage of a federal tax credit, which those don't come around often, do they? But we could also finance that term over a 10, 15, 20, 25 year term length and have very, very low financing. Now, even though financing solar is a great opportunity for us to get into solar, there are some things that we need to keep an eye out for. And so I'll explain and kind of going through just a typical proposal that I've run a dozen times for different customers, but I really want you to hone in on what are these things to look out for. All right, so here's a typical system, right? We're looking at a 13 kilowatt system. We're targeting 136% offset of the current electric usage, and we're using 39 Q-cell panels. Okay, great. So what's all that going to cost? Well, after we factor in all of the installation costs, the products, the materials, etc., there's a few options here. One, I always provide a cash option to customers. Customers need to understand that even if they don't have cash, what it would cost them if they had the cash to purchase that system outright. And I use that as a baseline to compare the other financing options too. So in this example, I'm going to use three different options. One is going to be a cash option if the customer was to go right into their pocket and pay up front. The second option is going to be a solar financing option that has zero dealer fees, and I'll explain a little bit more about what that looks like. And then lastly, I'm going to have a solar finance option that has dealer fees. All right, so stick with me here. So taking a look at our cash option. So you can see with this cash option here that that customer is looking at a total system cost of about $47,000. Now, since it's a cash option, they're not going to have any monthly payments. And up here you can see what the total cost of going solar is going to be, along with the long-term savings, since they're not having to pay all those utility bills, which you well know, which is why you're watching this video. So pay attention to this cost. This system for this customer, if they paid cash today, would be just over $47,000. Now, with the available incentives, that's that federal tax credit, they're looking at an offset of 26% of that cost, which is $12,300, thereabouts. So their net cost of the system, that is, what's that system going to cost them at the end of the day after they get their federal tax rebate, is going to be about $35,000. Okay, that's great. But this customer doesn't have $47,000 in their bank account right now to write us a check. So we offer some financing options. Well, here's what you need to look out for and some things that you need to ask anyone that you're looking to work with to get solar installed on your house, whether it's a salesperson or some kind of project development professional, someone that you're talking to about solar and they're trying to get you into financing. There's two different types of loans. There's loans with dealer fees and loans without dealer fees. Now, when you're walking through your proposal with your solar salesperson and they know that you need financing, Okay? What they need to do is first understand what is your current expectation around financing. Most solar people will go right in and start pushing on different types of loans without really explaining to you what these loans entail and how much it's going to cost you at the end of the day. A loan that I like to use for my customers is a loan that carries no dealer fees. So what is that? It looks like this. So here is a loan for that same exact system. You can see here that it is the total install cost, which is exactly the same as cash price. And you can see also that there are available incentives. They're leaving nothing on the table there. And their net cost of the system is still that same cash price. Now, if we switch over to here, you see that they now have a monthly solar payment. That's because this system is going to be financed, and they're going to break that financing out over a period of 20 years. Now, most folks just want to look at the APR. What is that interest rate that I'm going to be paying? So they'll take a look at this loan and they'll go, egads, 5.74%. There's no way. That's too high. I have this guy offering me 0.99%, this person offering me 1.99%. But you're looking at this and saying, there's no way, right? My bill right now, if I go with this loan, is going to be $333. Maybe this customer is only paying $250 a month in utility bills, so their monthly payment is going to be more than their current utility bill. But take a look at the overall cost of solar. So this system, again, cash price is $47,000. With interest, if they were to carry that loan to term, they're going to pay just under $60,000. So that's where that interest actually shows up if they pay it over the entire span of that 20 years. The great thing about these loans, and these are solar loans in general, is that there's no prepayment penalty, meaning that if it takes you 5 years or 20 years and you get a 20-year term loan, there's no payment or there's no penalty for paying it off early. That's a really great opportunity for you to throw some extra money at that loan and buy that loan down and maybe knock it out altogether in 7 years. It's going to save you a lot of money on that interest long term. Now let's take a look at a solar financing option with dealer fees. These are very popular and salespeople love to use these as opportunities to really make you think that you're getting a great deal. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad deal, but what I'm saying is you need to know what you're getting. So let's take one of these real low interest rate loans. So you'll see here 0.99%. And so in your mind, 0.99%, that is so much cheaper than that 5.74%. So I'm going to be saving tons of money. And then you also take a look at that monthly solar payment and you're thinking $225 is much better than $333 a month. Why in the world would I take that other loan and go with this one? Well, here's the secret that most solar people won't tell you. Take a look at the overall amount financed. That same system that for cash price costs you $47,000 just to install, now is going to cost you $65,000. That same system. Yet you're looking and thinking, but this is a great loan. It's 0.99%. I have a much lower monthly payment than if I was to go with that other loan that doesn't have dealer fees attached. But the overall system is going to cost you more. And here's why. Dealer fees. All right. So what's a dealer fee? That is the amount of money that financing company charges you up front in thousands of dollars just to be able to use that loan and to get down to that 0.99 or that 1.99% interest rate, which means you're paying much more for that system, but they will give you a much lower interest rate. And then you'll have, as a result, a much lower monthly cost. It's similar if you own a home to buying down points on a mortgage. Very similar to that. Except that's not money that you're going to get back. Once you pay those dealer fees, and that's part of your solar install contract, you have to pay that money. So even if you pay that loan off sooner, it's just going to save you on the interest, but it's not going to save you on those dealer fees. So at the end of the day, you're going to end up spending thousands of dollars more on that solar system because you want to have that lower monthly payment and go with that lower APR. That's why we typically recommend going with loans that have no dealer fees. But if you need to save that money in your budget, and that's okay. I don't know what your financial situation, but for some folks, saving $50 or $100 on what they're currently paying on their utility bill is a big deal. And that's fine. We could definitely work with you. Just know what your buying and know how much you're going to pay at the end of the day. So here's a little inside secret, right? Here is some documents that I keep on hand to help me kind of track what all these different interest rates are and the dealer fees that are associated with them. So you can see some of the two biggest solar providers of loans in the industry, Sunlight Financial and SunNova. So I took some highlights here and I just want to point a few things out. So you'll see here, if let's say they're going with a 12-year loan, all right, the interest rate on that is 0%. But what are the dealer fees? The dealer fees are 22.75%. That is of the total system cost, meaning that if you take that cash price, they're going to add 22% on top of that cash price system just to get you that 0% interest loan over those 12 years. So you're going to be paying an additional sum of some 15, 16, maybe more thousands of dollars just to buy that same system, but to keep that low interest rate and to manage that lower monthly payment. And then that dealer fee, you can see how it goes up. If you want to finance your solar system over 25 years, you can do that. And it's a low APR, this 1.49, but it's going to cost you an additional $27,000 over the cash price just to have that loan. No different here with SunNova. You can see they charge a 25% dealer fee. That's a lot of money, and they collect that money up front, and it doesn't matter how quickly you pay off your system. Now, if you're looking at an easy solar loan, which is a loan, a financing company that doesn't have any dealer fees, that's where you're going to see those higher interest rates here, right? That's the one that I showed you. So for a 20-year, you're looking at 5.74, 15-year, 12-year, you can see how that interest rate kind of goes down as you shorten the overall timeline that you're going to pay back that system. But there are zero dealer fees, zero, meaning that you're in control. So if you end up wanting to finance your system over 20 years because you don't really want to stress your budget, but then you know that, hey, I'm going to be getting some tax credit money back and I'm going to put that the loan. I'm going to be, saving up a little bit extra money, maybe paying $100 extra on my solar loan payment every month just to buy that loan down quicker. That's money now that you're saving. That's not out of pocket. And the quicker you pay off that loan, the better off you're going to be and the cheaper that system's going to cost you overall. Now, don't let solar loans scare you off entirely. Solar loans are a really great, affordable way to get into solar. There's not too many opportunities that we have where we don't have to go into our own pockets and just lay down a big stack of cash. It still saves you thousands of dollars in the long run because you're no longer paying utilities. But when you're working through solar financing options, make sure you're asking those types of really good questions. Like, number one, are there dealer fees associated with this loan? If so, what's the percent of that dealer fee? And what additional costs do I have on that base price of that solar system because I'm now financing it through this company or that company? What is the APR? How much is this system going to cost me? How much is that monthly payment? If I was to maybe put a little cash down, I could possibly lower that monthly payment, or maybe broaden that term limit over a 20-year period instead of a 25-year period, or maybe even a 10-year period. You're in control when it comes to solar. When you give us a call at All Solar Texas, we educate you on your loan options, and we work with you to make the best option and the best choice possible for your family and your family's budget. We're not going to pressure you with any type of loan options. We're not limited with our loan options. You've seen how many variations of loans we can get you, and we're going to be completely transparent with what those fees are so that you know what you're paying, and as a consumer, you're making an educated decision when it comes to financing. So give us a call at All Solar Texas. We'll get back to you right away and we'll walk you through any questions that you have on solar financing. Also, send us an email or just reach out to us by checking out our website. We love getting feedback on our website. And lastly, before we go here, don't forget to drop a comment below and let us know, do you have any other questions about solar financing? Are there any other issues that you've seen in your experience that I may want to do a video on in later weeks? So thank you so much. I appreciate your time as always, and God bless.